Hey, floralpreneurs, it is I, Alison Ellis here of realflowerbusiness.com with some tips on marketing and branding in your floral design business. This is such an important topic that I teach a whole class on this every year, but I want to talk very briefly about marketing and branding in your business because it's so vitally important to your long-term success and your short-term success as well. So there's a difference between marketing and branding in your business, but we often kind of shorthand these things and use the terms interchangeably. So let me just give you a really brief description of the difference between marketing in your business and branding. So your brand is what your customers say about you. Your brand is what people say when you're not in the room, when they're describing what it's like to work with you or what you design. That is what your brand is. Your marketing, on the other hand, is how you talk about your business, how you try to describe it and sell it, what you promise to the customer. It's where you show up. It's where you pay for marketing or where you do free marketing on your social media. It's what your website says, right? All of these things, all the words you use and the places you show up to talk about your business, that's marketing. But branding is something that you can say anything you want to over in your marketing. We're the number one top luxury wedding, whatever, florist, wedding planner, whatever. But if your customers say something different, if your customers say you're not reliable, they didn't show up on time, the salesperson was rude to me in the store, I walked in and no one even said hi, right? That becomes what your brand is, what people say about you and what their relationship was with your business, right? What was their experience? So we can control our branding to some degree. This is when we think about like our logos and our colors, right? These are things we think about as being our branding. But it is the touch point with every client that affects your brand. When you pick up the phone, when they go to your website, what's the first thing they experience? When they walk in your shop, when you deliver, when the wedding day is here or whatever event is here, all of the steps that happen, that's part of your brand experience. So if we want to be in business for the long run, we're aiming to create an outstanding branding experience. We want to have reputable brands that attract great customers, because that makes it easier for us to do our jobs. When you have a great brand and you have great brand reputation, people recommend you. It gets easier to book. You can charge a little bit more money. You can do some more beautiful design work. You see, everything starts to get easier when we start to establish that we are the go-to, that we are worth the time, the extra travel, the extra expense, whatever it is, you're worth it. That's why people come to you, all right? So just really quickly again, to recap here, your brand is what your customers say about you when you're not in the room. And your marketing is what you say about yourself. And what we want to do is make sure that our brand experience is reflected in our marketing. So sometimes that means that you need to actually elevate what you're saying in your marketing because your brand is so fantastic, but your marketing is kind of slumpy. It's kind of slumping below the bar of excellence of your brand. We want these things to be on par. We want to reflect the excellence of our brand in our marketing, and we want our customers to experience what we promised in our marketing so that they will keep coming back and that they will refer other people to us. This is critical stuff to understand like at the risk of sounding dramatic, on a cellular level in your business, because this is what keeps you from going off track. This is what keeps you from thinking, you know what? I know that this salesperson is rude to people, but they've been with me for a long time and I need them. Versus, I'm going to show up on social media and just keep saying how great we are. Because when you start to realize these two things don't align, we can't have rude sales experiences 50% of the time when customers walk in and say that we are the best, friendliest, care the most in our marketing. These things have to be aligned. So staying accountable in our business is, oh my goodness, so hard to do, but it's essential. Whether you work for yourself or you lead a team, that accountability piece doesn't come automatically for most people. And marketing and branding is one of those areas where that accountability is exceptionally important, because you can easily go down the wrong road of thinking that I just want to get more views and likes, and so I'm going to work on my marketing, when actually your brand is falling apart because you have things going on where the customer is actually not experiencing that thrill and delight that we want them to feel when they're working with us. So whether they're coming in for a birthday arrangement or they're planning a big wedding or a big event, the customer experience matters. What are they saying about you after they leave, after they've had that encounter, after the phone consultation, after the proposal, after they give you the deposit? Every single touch point is part of your brand experience. And how do we make sure that all those touch points make our customer feel like they made the best choice? That's what it comes down to. So keep this in mind as you move forward in your business, and keep doing your marketing and your brand building with a clear perspective of how these things are intertwined, but also how they're actually very, very different. And we really want to make sure we're keeping an eye on both sides of them. All right. If you need any help with this, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You'll find me at realflowerbusiness.com. We can always do a one-on-one chat to talk about your specific business. And I've got lots of other resources, including tons of free stuff on my website, if you just want to take a look and dive a little deeper. All right. Keep doing beautiful work. I will talk to you again very soon. Okay. Bye for now.